नित्य गौरा हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल, नित्य गौरा हरि बोल। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंसा परिव्राचार्य सुत्रसत श्री श्रीमद हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस अभय झरना रविंद्र भक्ति वेदांता स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की, इस्कॉन फाउंडर आचार्य श्रील प्रभुपाद की, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की, नमचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की, प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधारा श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद की, श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की, वृंदावन धाम की, मथुरा धाम की, नवदीप धाम की, श्री जगन्नाथ स्वामी की, यमुना माई की, श्रीमती तुलसी देवी की, सामवेद भक्त वृंद की, निताई गौर प्रेमानंदी। All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pastai Bhutle Srimate Bir Krishna Goswami Niti Namne Namo Hamsa Nikashaya Prabhupada Priyayate Shuddha Shuddhi Nishtabem Tasta Bhakya Anuvadine. Okay, good morning, Hare Krishna. Welcome to this morning Srimad Bhagavatam class, brought to you from Sri Radha Gopinath Temple in Sydney, Australia. Welcome to all our Mayapur online TV viewers and ISKCON Sydney YouTube as well as ISKCON Facebook. So this morning we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 29, which is titled Explanation of Devotional Service. And the text we are reading from is text 21. So, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devam Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudiraye Nasta Prayashu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Okay. Aham Sarveshu Bhuteshu Bhutatma va stitha sada. Bhutatma va stitha sada. Tam avagnya mam martayaha. Kurute rcha vidambanam. Aham sarveshu bhuteshu Bhutatma va stitha sada. Tam avnagya mam martayaha. Kurute rcha vidambanam. Aham sarveshu bhuteshu Bhutatma va stitha sada. Tam avagnaya mam amartayaha. Kurute rcha vidambanam. Aham sarveshu bhuteshu Bhutatma vasistastada. Tam avagnyaya mam martayaha. Kurutercha vidambanam. Aham sarveshu bhuteshu. Bhutatma vasistha sada. Tam avagnaya mam martayaha. Kurutercha vidambanam. Aham sarveshu bhuteshu. Bhutatma vasistastada. Tam avagnaya mam martayaha. Kurute archa vidambanam. Aham sarveshu bhuteshu. Bhutatma vastita sada. Tam avagnaya mam martayaha. Kurute richa vidambanam. Okay, the words and their meanings. Aham, I. Sarveshu, in all. Bhuteshu, living entities. Bhutatma, the supersoul in all living beings. Avastita, situated. Sada, always. Tam, that supersoul. Avagnaya, disregarding. Mam, me. Martya, a mortal man. Kurute, performs. Archa, of worship of the deity. Vidambanam, imitation. Okay, so we've got the translation and the purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So, whatever we've recited, the translation of that, the shlok. I am present in every living entity as the Supersoul. If someone neglects or disregards that Supersoul everywhere and engages himself in the worship of the deity in the temple, that is simply imitation. So we can all repeat. I am present in every living entity as the Supersoul. If someone neglects or disregards that Supersoul everywhere and engages himself in the worship of the deity in the temple, that is simply imitation. Okay, so the purport. In purified consciousness or Krishna consciousness, one sees the presence of Krishna everywhere. If therefore one only engages in deity worship in the temple and does not consider other living entities, then he is in the lowest grade of devotional service. One who worships the deity in the temple and does not show respect to others is a devotee on the material platform, in the lower stage of devotional service. A devotee should try to understand everything in relationship with Krishna and try to serve everything in that spirit. To serve everything means to engage in everything, everything in the service of Krishna. If a person is innocent and does not know his relationship with Krishna, an advanced devotee should try to engage him in the service of Krishna. One who is advanced in Krishna consciousness can engage not only the living being, but everything in the service of Krishna. That's a good lesson for the day. It's a good lesson for every day. So, Mangal Charan. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manovistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Sva Padantikam. Vande Ham Shri Gurum Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijanasahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deen Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Vanchakalpa Trubhascha Kripa Sindhu Vaevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Okay, so every day we read this Srimad Bhagavatam and we always come up with a very good lesson. So today is the lesson of a very important lesson that one must see Krishna everywhere, not just in the temple. For somebody, it is written here very clear in black and white. For somebody who engages in temple worship but does not see Krishna outside, is in a very low stage of devotional service. Those who are practicing Krishna consciousness, who are advanced in devotional service, who are realized, who simply means that they have more understanding, they will see Krishna everywhere, outside, in all the living entities. Simply reading or theoretical knowledge but not applying it, then there's a big problem, because it just means that the knowledge is there but it is not being applied. So the devotional service is not done properly. It is not full devotional service. So you will see that devotees of our temple, they will go into outreach. What is outreach? They go outside and preach Krishna consciousness and they spread the holy names of the Lord. So what I'm going to read to you today is a little bit on Chaitanya Charitamrita, what this particular thing means. But also, it gives us an idea of what stage we are in. Basically, there are 3 stages that we go through, the kind of devotees. And to begin with, one is Kanishta Adhikari. And what is the second one? Madhyam Adhikari, and the third one, Uttam Adhikari. What does that mean? So, this is not to criticize anybody, because what happens is a child learns from kindergarten stage, preschool, then they go to primary school, then they go to high school, then university, then they do a PhD, whatever, doctorate. So it is a stage for us as well. We go through neophyte stage, we become Kanishta, then we learn. The problem lies if nobody wants to evolve from being in a neophyte stage. That's the problem. They don't want to learn. So, but we never criticize anyone, but we try to guide, because it is written here in the purport this morning that whoever is realized or advanced in Krishna conscious, what is our duty? If you remember, what did the purport say? Whoever is on a higher stage of devotional service, what is their duty? Anybody remember? Nobody remembers? Okay, if a devotee should try to engage him in that service of Krishna, one who is advanced in Krishna consciousness, that's the last sentence of this purport, one who is advanced in Krishna consciousness can engage not only the living being, but everything in the service of Krishna. So that is the duty of someone who is more knowledgeable, more advanced than others. We have to help. So this is the stage. So I'm going to read a little bit on Chaitanya Charimrita, verse to reinforce, and then there's a very interesting story that I'd like to read that everybody would benefit from. So let me open up that particular part. Okay, there's many, and I'm trying to find out which one. Okay, so Chaitanya Charimrita Madhya Lila, chapter 15.106. Madhya Lila 15.106. There's a purport, and the purport reads, a person who has attained firm faith in is a real candidate for advancing Krishna consciousness. A person who has attained firm faith is a real candidate for advancing Krishna consciousness. I'll just stop there on the first sentence because it is a very important sentence. Who is a real candidate for Krishna consciousness? A person with? Yes. And why I stopped there, it is absolutely important to have faith. Faith is the foundation of bhakti. When I was personally, starting off chanting, everybody does somewhere there. So I had a dream, and in this dream, usually you get dreams of realizations. Krishna is helping you somehow or the other. So these dreams are not meant to be taken lightly. But I saw that we were playing on the beach. My friends playing a ball. Actually, we really did play the ball on the beach. It was some kind of volleyball in those days, younger days. And somebody was saying, "Oh, she's pointing at me in the dream. She's weak." Because I couldn't catch the ball. Well, I'm short and everybody's tall. So taller people play volleyball better. It's a fact. So my Guru Maharaj loves to play volleyball. Actually, that's his sport. He likes to play volleyball. It's meant for taller people anyway. So in my dream, she's weak. And then somebody from the background said, she's not weak. She's actually the strongest because she has faith. This is my dream. I'm not saying I'm the strongest. But that faith is the one that is the foundation of everybody who becomes Krishna conscious. It doesn't mean you have to be tall or you have to be very learned and you have to be able to catch the ball properly. No. So the qualification, those were the days when I had just started chanting. So anyway, over the years, I managed to stick in Krishna conscious. I didn't leave Prabhupada. There was another dream there when Prabhupada came, halfway through my bhakti, if you can call it that. In those days, I was living in Parramatta and serving or trying to serve. There were no devotees there in Parramatta in those days. And Prabhupada came in my dream and said, "Don't turn your back to me." Well, I was really, isolated. There were no devotees there. So Prabhupada came and encouraged us, "Don't turn your back to me and don't leave." That's what he means. Faith. So the important word today in your purport, the translation actually that I picked out personally was the word imitation. Well, we'll come to that shortly. I will just read after this first sentence in the Chaitanya Charimrita. According to the faith, they are first class, second class, and neophyte devotees. First class, second class, and neophyte devotees. One who has preliminary faith is called a Kanishta Adhikari or a neophyte. So neophyte and Kanishta go well together. And my Guru defines neophyte. How does he define neophyte? In a very joking way, humorous. Neophyte. What's the last fight? Yeah, neophyte. He said neophyte loves to fight, actually, because we are in early stage and we like to prove ourselves that we know better than everybody else. So we decide to be the boss. And I've gone through this stage myself. It's a very interesting one. Neophyte. So I'm doing the Tulsi Arati right here in the temple, and when Mataji says, "You can't do Tulsi Arati, my friend will do Tulsi Arati." And I'm like, I don't come to Tulsi Aratis often. It's very rare that I come to Mangal Arati now that I'm working full time, almost. And she said, well, if you don't let my friend do Tulsi Aarti, I will complain about you. And I was like, that is a fight. I said, okay, you can go and complain about me. There is no respect, total disregard, but they want to lord over everything. They have an ego issue, something like that. But that doesn't mean you should criticize the person, just let them evolve. Anyway, we come across these issues all the time. Neophytes, they like to fight. So, but ladies like to fight a lot anyway. And nobody has ever understood them. However, we have to evolve from that. That's the whole point. We learn from that. We try to respect each other. And the etiquette needs to be there. This is a very heavy purport today, that we teach each other some manners. The Prabhupada is saying, try to evolve from that kind of mentality. So according to the faith, they are first class, second class, and neophyte devotees. One who has preliminary faith is called Kanishta Adhikari or neophyte. The neophyte, however, can become, so here's the deal. The neophyte, however, can become an advanced devotee if he strictly follows the regulative principles set down by spiritual master. Therefore, it is on the basis of faith and attachment to Krishna. One who is a Madhyam Adhikari or Uttam Adhikari. It is thus concluded that even a neophyte devotee, okay, here's the deal. Neophyte devotee is superior to the Karmis and Gyanis. In fact, they are better because the Karmis have not taken Krishna conscious. And Gyanis, they are also looking at knowledge, but they are not practicing. They are not applying bhakti. We have to apply bhakti. You here, you are applying bhakti because you are chanting. You are listening to a class. So you are doing the application. You're doing the right thing. The issue, it's not even an issue. It's not a right word. The important thing is to advance and go beyond the neophyte stage. Even a neophyte devotee engaged in deity worship in accordance with regulations set forth by the spiritual master is in a position superior to that of the fruitive worker and speculative philosopher. So that is the first class, second class, and third class devotee. This is according to Srila Prabhupada. So Uttam Adhikari, the one who is the best, they are extremely advanced and realized in Krishna consciousness. And our acharyas are at that stage. Prabhupada is at that stage. But we are still, if we are spreading Krishna consciousness, if we are helping others engage in devotional service, then we are aspiring to reach Madhyam Adhikari, the second class, in the middle. But if we are fighting with others and trying to boss them around, and the neophyte, so we are in a Kanishta stage. So a person who fights a lot, they are neophyte. That's a very easy way of determining what stage they are at. Person who preaches to others, they are Madhyam Adhikaris. Preacher, they are Madhyam. So anybody who preaches over here? We don't want to name anybody. Yes, but we have some preachers here. Maybe they are very humble, they don't want to be named, but we do have some very good preachers in this temple. We are very lucky, actually, and they are in the Madhyam Adhikari stage or reaching there. And we are very lucky because I have heard feedback that Sydney Temple has got one of the blessed classes. And so when I travel out, then I'm told that they listen to our classes, not just from myself, one class, everybody's class. And even to the stage of New Zealand, they are listening to our class in Wellington, and even in Bombay, India. And because when you go to Mayapur TV, we have a very nice feature where we can see the temple. I don't go often, but whenever I do go, I can see there's a class playing all the time. There's a camera of our temple room, but there's somebody's class is always playing. So it is a very good thing because that is preaching. But it's not just the class that's preaching, it's going outside and telling people to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. That's preaching. So we are very lucky in that stage. So now comes to that part, the interesting part. I will have to summarize it because we are almost, we've got about 15-20 minutes. That part about the word imitation. Now, in this purport, it's also written that it's simply imitation. So what happens to those people who are trying to imitate about bhakti? Well, externally, they look like good devotees. Internally, no. You go to their houses and you open the door and they're not doing anything very good. So it's not that. But I chose a story today. I was somebody who's trying to imitate something. There's a very famous story. Does anybody know a very famous imitator of Lord Krishna? Who is he? It's a he. Anyone? Yes, Paundraka. So this story of Paundraka. It's a very funny story. Paundraka was imitating Krishna. He's the king of Kashi. So he was Kashiraj in India during the times of Krishna. And not only that, he was imitating Krishna, he colored himself blue. And he put 4 arms there. And he put the conch in the Gadha. Gadha, you know, that Gadha and Gadha. He was a Gadha. He was really an ass. He was with a Gadha, conch shell. And he had the mark of Srivatsva, and all these things. And he was actually a good warrior, though. He was a strong warrior. He was a soldier. So he was good in fighting. And there comes the word fight again. So, and what he did, he wrote a letter to Krishna, Lord Krishna in Dwarka. And he said, you are the imitation, I am the real Krishna. And he said, not only that, he wrote a contract. You sign this contract to actually admit you are not Krishna. I'm stronger than you, and you are nothing, and I'm the real Krishna. And Krishna had to write this in legal black and white, sign that form in that letter. So this is what people do. When they want to prove that they are better than you, they come and confront you. And they try to get you to admit defeat. It happens in real life as well. It's happened with me, trust me, a few times. There was one, anyway, we won't go there. But they try to own your service and try to criticize your service, and then they try to take your service or try to be you. There are many imitators. And you just have to deal with people like this. So how did Krishna deal with it? He decided, okay, Krishna actually didn't waste any time. He immediately got his army and left for Kashi. He wanted to come and confront Paundraka. And when he went there, Paundraka obviously knew Krishna is there. So he came with all his army as well. So many Akshunis. And they met each other, and Krishna came and had a look at Paundraka, and so Paundraka was dressed just like him with imitation arms and all his weapons and things. And I'm just trying to point out how we deal with people who try to imitate you. So what did Krishna do? When Krishna saw him, he had a good laugh. He had laughed. It's written here in the Krishna book. He laughed to his satisfaction. It's very hard to make the Lord laugh, but he laughed. Actually, that's how I dealt with mine as well. I kind of laughed. I was told that I won't use the exact words, but I was criticized right here in the temple. And instead of getting angry, I didn't get angry at all, actually. I laughed because it was ridiculous. So Krishna here also laughed. So I can I'm not in that level, obviously, nowhere near. But I can identify that somebody's trying to defeat you. You will laugh at their attempts. It is very crazy, ridiculous. So Krishna had a good laugh. And then after that, Paundraka, obviously, what he did was he criticized Krishna. He criticized Krishna, he insulted Krishna. So devotees also who are trying to serve our Guru, or trying to serve Gauranga, or trying to serve the temple deities, they will come across these things. It is a fact. They will get criticized. Because somebody else is wanting to imitate, or somebody else, we do have, I'm not saying it's somebody in the temple, it can be outside as well. When Prabhupada was starting his mission, his movement, he was criticized, they tried to remove him, they did not support him, his own god brothers did not provide him with the resources, he asked his god brothers. So there'll always be obstacles, but the word faith is there. You keep faith, you continue with the devotional service, Krishna will remove all the hardships, difficulties. And if you come across people like that, laugh at them. That's the best way to deal with them. Laugh at them because they are ridiculous. Just continue with your service. So Krishna had a good laugh. Then after that, Paundraka insulted him. So then what did he do? What does Krishna do? His favorite pastime is to kill demons. With what? He has got a very interesting weapon. What's that weapon? What's Krishna's weapon? Nobody knows? Yeah, Sudarshan Chakra, the famous one. He will just release the Sudarshan Chakra and chop off their necks. That's what he did to Kashiraj, Paundraka. Because why he did that? Now, do you know why he did that? This imitator, this is a rascal, obviously. Anybody who blasphemes Krishna is a rascal. So, he had disciples. He had a number of followers. And that's what Krishna removed. Not only the imitator, but he also removed the possibility of the imitators. So, you will find even in real life, if somebody is trying to imitate or somebody is trying to criticize, they will form a hate group. You work with me, you work with me. So they'll have a team. They will recruit. That's how it works, a fight. A person doesn't fight alone. They come with a few people, backup. So you have to understand that. Anyway, Krishna removed the Paundraka, but also his backup team. His soldiers got killed. But that's not where it ended. His Paundraka's head flew to the gates of Kashi, the palace, and they saw this head there, severed head, and they thought, who's this? Because it was blue. They thought it was Krishna. It wasn't Krishna, obviously. Nobody can do that to Krishna. So then they realized, oh, this is Paundraka. The queens realized, and they were lamenting. But this is the after effects of cleanup. Well, Paundraka had a son. His name was Sudakshina. And what happens is sometimes you don't remove it from the roots because they are, there's a side effect. There's a son to carry on the legacy. So his son decided to revenge his father, Krishna. I'm going to kill Krishna, he said. Nobody can do that. Take revenge. So sometimes we have problems, but it also comes with side effects. Even if one leaves, they leave behind a legacy. It's very important to even clean up the legacy. We are not in that stage. We have to be strong enough. So what does a devotee do? Well, keep faith in Krishna. Continue chanting. Faith is very important. And Krishna will remove the disciples, the rascals, the rascal disciples. Not the good disciples. Good disciples are very handy to have. Krishna will remove. We have to have faith. So what happened to Sudakshina? Well, he decided to get a blessings. He went to Lord Shiva. There is a temple in Kashi apparently, Vishwanath temple. That's Lord Shiva. He's called Vishwanath in that particular temple. And so he worshipped Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva is very easily pleased. Ashutosh. Demons pray to Lord Shiva and they get blessings. But the blessings are, they are cause of death hidden in disguise. So Sudakshina went, Lord Shiva was pleased, gave him a blessing, but it had a condition in it. And the condition was to remove Sudakshina as well. Actually, but the son, obviously, Paundraka's son didn't know. But he was very, very adamant. So he got the blessing that this demon will come and, kill or help you kill Krishna. But the condition was that whoever is supposed to be killed must be killed. In other words, if you get this demon, if he is asked to kill person A, must kill this person A. If he fails, then there is trouble. He will return. He must kill somebody instead of person A. So, Sudakshina did not take heed of this. He did the yagna, and in the yagna, this huge demon came, fiery and ugly and very powerful. And Sudakshina said, go to Dwarka and kill Krishna. How stupid is that? And obviously, the demon would have failed because Krishna's pastime is killing demons for breakfast, lunch and dinner. So he went to Dwarka, and Sudarshan Chakra again came out, killed the demon. Oh no, it didn't kill the demon, it was defeated. But the demon wasn't killed then. The demon could not kill Krishna, obviously. He was defeated. So, do you know that the yagna that Sudakshina did, it was full of tantra mantras, tantric. It was tantric. In other words, it was a bit something like black magic or something. It's written in the Krishna book I was reading this morning. So those mantras was tantric, black magic. So Lord Shiva gave him that. So the demon couldn't meet his target, KPIs, if you're working, couldn't meet the KPIs. So couldn't meet the target, had to come back. He came back to Sudakshina and destroyed Sudakshina, killed this Sudakshina. So what is the effect of this black magic and tantric? It's written here because a lot of us, we are practicing Krishna consciousness. We only know the Mahamantra. We know Krishna. We don't know about the black side of. We don't have any knowledge. If somebody asks me, then I will look up the Vedas, our scriptures, to see what does it say about black magic. So in this Krishna book, it's written a little bit about there. If the black magic is not successful in meeting its target, meeting the KPIs, then it returns to the person who sent it and destroys them. So in this case, Sudakshina was also destroyed by the very demon he had produced out of Tantra. So that is the effect of those who are practicing the black arts. If it doesn't meet the target, it will return to them. So that is imitation. Krishna does not tolerate imitation. He does not, because what imitation does is it recruits other disciples the same kind, and then it has a legacy. So it's better to remove it from the roots, and Krishna doesn't tolerate such things. For sincere, faithful devotees, he will remove the obstacles. So we should always pray for protection, for faith. What does that mean for devotees, for us? Really, what is the bottom line? I'll tell you. The bottom line is that a devotee is and should be focused on devotional service and maintain it at all cost. You should not leave your service at any cost. So does that mean if one is a pujari, he would always be a pujari for all life? No. Devotional service can be of 9 types: hearing, chanting. The 9 processes of devotional service: hearing, chanting, remembering, serving the Lord as a friend, all those things, self-surrender, any one of the 9. So you can switch from one to another. You can become a pujari, but you can also be a preacher. Then you can be a cook. You can chop and change, but never leave service. That's the whole point. Like Srila Prabhupada said to me in my dream, don't turn your back to me. It means that if I cannot do one service, try another. Try another, but never leave your service. The most bottom line, if you can't do anything, just chant. Chant and get others to chant. So it's simply the power is in the Mahamantra. And I was reading a Facebook story, a real story of a Mataji, Vrindavani. I think you may have read, for those of us who are always active in learning about Krishna consciousness and learning what's out there. She put a story out there. She's from Kazakhstan. And She was preaching, and in a Muslim country, to Muslims, and she was like going to be beheaded. They threatened her, and sometimes put in jail and things like that. But at every stage she wasn't, she wasn't beheaded, and she wasn't put in jail. And then finally she came to Mayapur, and then she got really sick, and then her body organs started failing one after another, and she was going to die, and then she did die. But in that, so she described it. She's alive, by the way, but she died. She left her body for a little while. She put this story up, so I'm reading from the story. And while she was dead, Lord Krishna came in the form of Jagannath. And actually, even when I started off my bhakti, Jagannath came, and he taught me Nrsimhapriya in my dreams. So Jagannath came in her dreams too, and showed her life. She had the full life. She said it was like a video reel that you see her entire life showed her. And the important thing that I picked up, she was shown everything, was that what Krishna was particularly pleased with. It was the time that she had participated in kirtans and was chanting the Mahamantra, and that was the highlight of her life. So this is something really powerful. And what she wrote was that the power of the Mahamantra is, we cannot even imagine. Because that, she said, even when it was just 2 or 3 devotees with her chanting, the Mahamantra was traveling all over the planet, to the universe, to other planets. She saw it. And in colors, blue, gold, pink. She even said the colors. It was traveling to the universe. So even if you are chanting, just very simply participating in kirtan or whatever, we do that on Tuesdays, by the way. This is not an advertisement for Tuesday evenings, but I'm glad we are chanting, because this story kind of reinforced that what we are trying to achieve is just simply to chant the holy names. And this Mataji had written in her story also that the highlight of her life, whatever she may have done, preached to the Muslims, or almost gone to the prison or wherever it was, being beheaded, she saw that Krishna was with her all the time. That's what she saw in her life story, by the way. And he, unseen and unheard, removed all the obstacles. Like, for the example, the day that she was supposed to be put in jail, he fired all the, prison officers and all those things, the officials. They were fired, they didn't put her in jail. Like, he removed obstacles along the way. So she saw all that. But she also saw that the highlight was the Mahamantra, that kirtans she participated in, and they were traveling all over the universe to other planets. That's the power of the Mahamantra. So if you are chanting, the reason I told you this story is that if you want to know what part of your devotional service is most important and most pleases Krishna most, it is really the Mahamantra chanting. It really is that. It's the most powerful. From her story, I don't have personal experience of that. However, I can tell you is that Jagannath does come, because he came in my dream too. So that concludes this class for today. I have to run to work. I'm sorry I don't have time for questions, but I hope we learn something today, a good thing today. Thank you. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Puran ki Jai.